Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Do we have plenty to be grateful for? I think some of us do. Probably all of us. I wanted to begin today. Today is about spiritual and mental laws, and I want to bring it, right down to our level of activity and experience. So Marianne Williamson wrote something that really made a lot of sense to me when I heard it. Nothing binds you but your thoughts. Nothing binds you but your thoughts. Nothing limits you but your fear. And nothing controls you except your beliefs. So how could that sentence be true? Or those sentences be true? How could those ideas be true? And when we take a look at science of mind, what we come to recognize is that it is our thinking and our belief system that actually causes the manifestation. So the thoughts we think go deep within us. The belief that we hold is what ends up manifesting. So we want to really pay attention to how we're thinking. And Ernest Holmes wrote, pardon me, a constant realization of the presence of spirit will provide a sense of divine companionship that no other attitude can produce. A realization of spirit. Now, we've been talking about spiritual mind treatment for a while, and when we do spiritual mind treatment, the very first step is recognition. Recognition of this divine essence, this intelligence, this creativity that exists. So a constant realization of the presence of spirit. And that means that when trouble happens, I don't immediately, fall into the pit of despair. I may go there, but I don't have to live there. And so if I go into those really deep, dark feelings, I allow myself to be with the feeling so that that feeling can begin to move. Because what I want it to do is to move out of me, but I don't want to suppress it. So we notice the feeling, we never project it, we notice the feeling, we sit in it, and we ask ourselves what we need. And it's fascinating how that process is fairly simple, and yet somehow, myself included, we sometimes forget to do it. We're so caught up in what's happening and our reactions to what's happening, we forgot that we actually have some control over what happens. And like Marianne Williamson wrote, nothing limits you but your fear. And nothing controls you but your beliefs. Wow. Nothing binds you but your thought. So we want to really pay attention to our thinking. And when we start to think about highest and best, that sort of raises the temperature a little bit, where we can turn around and be all that we were created to be. We can stand up and show ourselves in the world without that fear or doubt. And we can stand in our true, authentic power. A constant realization of the presence of spirit. So we want to remind ourselves, moment by moment, day by day, there is only this one thing. And because there's only this one thing, I live, move, and have my being in it, which means I am powerful. I have the ability to know. So we want to pay attention to that. He goes on to say that as soon as we recognize that spirit is, we can turn to the law and tell it what to do. Yeah, because the law says what? Yes. Yes, my beloved. It's the only thing it can say. You see, the law, kind of like your computer. So we're all on computers or tablets or phones at the moment. And when you're on that piece of equipment, it is bringing to you this message. Now, if I go into the computer and I input the wrong Zoom code, will I get this message? No. Now, is the law punishing you? No. What's happening is that the wrong input came in, so the output is going to match the input. If I slip, if I go online and I download, let's say I download Microsoft and, I've got Word and all that, and I'm all excited to get started on it. And then I turn around and I try to go into Zoom. Now, I haven't downloaded it and I haven't even actually put Chrome or Safari or anything. I haven't opened any of those up. And all of a sudden, I've got nothing. I can complain about having nothing, or I can accept that, really what happened is I need to install the proper software in order to receive the outcome I desire. So the same thing with us. Garbage in, garbage out, love in, love out. So we want to really pay attention to how we think. All right, because our thinking is what's going deep into that subjective part of us that will then express, that will cause a manifestation. And the manifestation is going to match the energy put in. So we really want to pay attention to the beliefs. Now, the beliefs, that's the foundation, okay? What we believe to be true becomes our reality. Our beliefs are held in the subjective. They're in that subconscious mind. That's the place where we're all one. So when we go into that place, we want to be paying attention to what we're putting in. In the reading today, the daily reading that comes out every day, I try to speak on those every Sunday to try and deepen our comprehension. So the thing today was spirit and mental law. And one of the things that he wrote in here is that we have no record of Jesus ever asking God to do things for him. I think we're all aware of that. He never asked for anything. He gave thanks and then commanded the law to work. Right? Open your eyes and see. Take up your bed and walk. The idea here is that we really want to focus on the outcome rather than the current turmoil or the current experience or lack of experiences that are happening. What we want to do is go, well, where do I want to go? What is it I want to do? How do I want my life to be? And then as you say those things, sit back and pay attention to the feelings that come up. What am I feeling right now? What's going on for me right now? Do I feel excited and happy, joyful and uplifted? Do I feel ready just to take on the world? I'm the happiest person I could be in this moment and I am so excited. Am I doing that? Or am I sitting there in doubt and fear going, oh, yeah, my life kind of sucks right now. I don't know what to do. That energy is creative. The excited energy is creative. The depressed energy is creative. When we believe some of the things that we were taught that don't actually work for us, when we believe those things, we actually set up a barrier to our success. So I want to invite you to really, for this week, maybe for the rest of your life, but for this week, give it a try. For this week, I want you to take a moment before you make any decision, before you do anything. When you first get up in the morning, yes, I am present. I am present with what is. Now, what would I like to create? And so I wake up and I'm excited about the day and I decide that my intention for the day is to experience incredible love everywhere I go, to share it, to receive it, to be it. So then I go about my day. right? I've set this intention. Setting intentions in the morning is actually a pretty good idea. We go through our day, and what happens when we set a clear intention that we can accept, everything in our day begins to manifest according to that intention. All of a sudden, people are coming up going, wow, you look terrific today, or oh, it's so good to see you, I've missed you, and all this warm energy is coming. People are giving you big hugs and telling you they love you. It's a whole different experience the day when I wake up and I stub my toe and I go, this day sucks. And then from then on, I'm manifesting more challenges often. Doesn't mean the day will totally be bad, but if I don't change that, I'm going to continue to feel miserable for the rest of the day, regardless of what happens. And I may miss opportunities that are coming to me that I'm not even seeing or paying attention to because I'm so caught up in my distress. Now, I'm not suggesting that we ignore what we feel. We have to be with what we feel. On Wednesday, the Having Courageous Conversations, the guest was Dr. Laura Quirk, who is a professor at Conestoga College. And she was talking about how we live life. Now, this is a woman who has multiple sclerosis and who has had many opportunities to deal with the effect of that particular disease. And she just came out of an experience, a 6-month experience, where she could not speak. No voice. No voice. One of the vocal cords was frozen. Stayed like that for 6 months. Now she's a professor. She's a professor. Now, she could have called in sick and said, I'm going to have to be on, sick leave for, I don't know how long, but I'll have to be on sick leave for a while. Now, most of us would probably do that. You're a professor. How are you going to stand up in class and teach if you cannot speak? Well, darned if she didn't do it. She turned around and went, well, I'm going to engage the students and we're going to make it work. And she told her boss, we're going to make it work. So she would write out all these notes and things, send them to the student that was prepared to assist her. And she would turn around and sit quietly because she couldn't speak. But her facial expressions are pretty good. And so she would do that. She would put things in the chat. But what happened is what's really remarkable, because she taught the whole semester this way. So here's what happened. At the end of the semester, of course, everybody gets to review the course and the instructor. And she got rave reviews. How did that happen? There's an old saying that we teach what we most need to learn. And her students, having to take the role of teacher, all of a sudden it upped their game. So they received more from that program than they normally would, because they became such an integral part of the teaching process. And what was fascinating, and Laura said brought her to tears, that these students stepped in and really stepped up. And what's incredible to me is that the resilience that Dr. Laura has is that somehow, some way, this is going to get done. That's her belief. And she's right. She got her, I don't know if it was her doctorate or her master's, and I think she has a couple masters, but I think she got that while she was blind. Yes, she had a time when she was blind as well. Multiple sclerosis will affect all sorts of things, and it can affect it for a short term or forever. And she just kept saying, I'm going to see again, or I'm going to speak again. And sure enough, that happened. But she had been blind for a while. And she said to the professor, she said, well, I'm ready for the exam, but you'll have to read it to me because I can't see. And the journey that we're on, so many of us, the minute a little bump in the road shows up, we throw in the towel, we walk away and go, well, it wasn't meant to be. Sometimes something happens that suggests that maybe we're not all in. Are we all in? Are you all in? Check your thinking, check what you're feeling whenever something happens, because those feelings, those thoughts are going to show you kind of what your belief set is. And of course, once we see it, we can change it, right? I mean, we can change it without seeing it, but it's a little more difficult. But if you look at your life around you and go, okay, well, this is good, that is good, well, a little challenged here, then take a look at that area that's challenged and give it some love, not criticism, not judgment. Give it a little bit of love. Sit back and look at it with a new eye, a new view, and ask yourself or ask it, what do you need? Need, not want. Need. Needs are things like, I need a roof over my head, I need food in my belly, I need clothes to wear, I need to feel love and give love. Like, what are the needs? I don't need a new car. I might want one, might make life easier, but it's not a need. All right. So we want to pay attention, because when those feelings come up, they're revealing our belief system to us. And if we believe in lack, that's what's going to show up. If we believe in, people are evil, that's what's going to show up. If we believe that, life is horrible, it's hard, then that's how life is going to be for us. So we want to look at our language. We want to look at the feelings that we have. We want to pay attention and notice that what we think about moves into that subjective place, that subjective part of us, and then creates. That part of us is the law. The law says yes. Ernest Holmes wrote, the law is subject to the spirit and is the servant. So I want you to hear that. The law is subject to the spirit and is its servant. So whatever I put in, just like my computer, whatever I put in, that's what's going to come out. So if I put in something that's got a virus, my computer's going to crash. It's going to be a whole mess. But if I put in Microsoft and load that up, all of a sudden now I can write letters, I can send emails, I can do all kinds of things. What are the things that you're putting into the law? Because it is our ability to direct that energy that is creating the life that we live. And the energy that we create with is spirit. It's the only thing that is. So we want to really, really pay attention and remember how it was that Jesus even approached it. Not that I talk about Jesus much, because I really don't, but the correct manner of approach to spirit and the law is to make a command. I am health. I am wealth. I am love. I am fill in the blank. And it should be positive and uplifting, because whatever we're putting in is going to manifest according to our beliefs. According to our beliefs. So what did he do differently? He gave thanks and commanded the law. Thank you, God, I am power. Thank you, God, I am grace. Thank you, God, I am love. I am health. Thank you, Spirit, for the glory of life. What energy am I bringing to my life? Is it an energy of possibility and opportunity, or is it an energy of despair? And whatever it is, we want to start where we are, okay? We can't jump the line. We got to start where we are. That's key to everything. And where we are is right here, right now. And in this now moment, if I look around my life and go, is everything working perfectly? No. Does it ever work perfectly all the time? Probably not. There are bumps in the road, but maybe there's perfection in that. Have you ever gone through a really hard experience and it taught you something about yourself, and then from then on, your life just got better and better and better and better and better? That was my experience. You see, I was a pretty miserable young adult, probably child and teenager as well, especially teenager. But as a young adult, I was a really angry person. And when I had my spiritual awakening, my spiritual epiphany, I knew in that moment, because I felt the presence of God, and what I knew was that it was love. There was a warmth, there was an acceptance, there was a comfort and a peace about that energy. And that energy is within each and every one of us. Yes. It's just maybe we haven't noticed it yet. We haven't accepted that it's part of us yet. Well, why not today? Why not on Thanksgiving weekend? Just give thanks. Give thanks for the road that you've walked, for the life that you lived, for the bumps in the road, for the people who caused you pain and heartache. Say thank you. Give thanks for the journey, for life itself. You are here. There are many who did not make it to this point. Many people transitioned before they got to this age or to this experience. So allow yourselves to live big, live large, get out of that box that we were put into as children. This is what you need to be. And put that thing on a shelf somewhere, or put it in the trash and take it out on Friday or whatever day your trash comes. Get rid of it and stand in this moment knowing who you are. And I want you to say with me, I am spirit. I am spirit. I am spirit. Therefore, I am powerful. Therefore, I'm knowledgeable. We allow ourselves to sink into that and to make that part of our daily experience, to really remember our oneness with the divine. Yes, we are one. And if we will listen and remember that the law is subject to the spirit and is its servant. Humans are spirit, but until we know this, we will be only half using the law, for we will not have a clear understanding to fall back on, says Ernest Holmes. What are we falling back on? So I invite you to breathe in life, to know who you are, and to completely surrender to the moment and just be you. Thank you. Namaste.
Well, everyone, we have come to that moment where we tap into the flow of giving and receiving. If this space has lifted you up, inspired you, or helped you reconnect with spirit, this is our chance to give back to that place that feeds us spiritually. When we give from the heart, we keep that energy of abundance moving, not just for ourselves, but for our whole community. So let's speak this abundance affirmation together. As I give, so I receive. My good now flows to me in steady, unbroken, ever increasing stream of success, happiness, and abundance. I am blessed. Blessings abound for all life everywhere. I am grateful. So there are different ways we can give as a charitable organization. You can scan this QR code. You can do an e-transfer to admin@ujoyc.ca. You can click donate on our website at ujoyc.ca. And unlike last week, you can now mail a check to Universal Joy Center, 28 Sir Raymond Drive, Toronto, Ontario, M1E1C2. So if you feel called to contribute, please take this time to do so.